Hi home bakers! Today I'm in the kitchen making classic whipped shortbread cookies.
These easy whipped shortbread cookies are pure melt-in-your-mouth magic. Made with only a handful of simple ingredients, these cookies are tender, light, melt-in-your-mouth, and full of buttery flavor. Perfect for the holidays and beginner bakers who want to make classic Christmas cookies.
All you need to do is whip and bake for the softest, most delicate holiday cookies ever. Perfect for the cozy baking season, these come together in minutes and are perfect for cookie exchanges, Christmas dessert tables, or gifting to family and friends.
So let's get into the kitchen. This is how I make whipped shortbread cookies.
I'm going to start this recipe with the dry ingredients. In a bowl, whisk together 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to set this aside while I get together the wet ingredients. In a large bowl, cream together 1 cup of softened butter with 3/4 of a cup of icing sugar. Beat this until the mixture turns light and fluffy. This should take several minutes. Make sure to stop and scrape down the bottom and sides of the bowl a few times as you go to make sure everything is getting mixed in evenly. Beat in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Once you notice that the mixture has turned to a very pale light yellow, we're ready to add in the dry ingredients. Add in half of the dry mixture. Mix on low until the flour is absorbed. Then I'm going to add in the rest of the dry ingredients and mix until the dough just comes together. The less you mix the dough, the more tender the cookies will be in the end. Now to shape the cookies. Scoop about 1 tablespoon of dough and roll it into a ball with your hands. I'm going to place these spread out onto a few lined cookie sheets. Once I've shaped all the cookies, I'm going to gently press the back of a fork to make a small depression on top of each dough ball. Hold the dough ball with your hand and then slowly on an angle remove the fork. If you're noticing it hard to get the fork out of the dough, you can dip the fork in a little bit of flour before pressing it down into each dough ball. I'm going to garnish the top of each cookie with some sprinkles. This step is optional, but it does give the cookies a classic festive appearance. Before baking these cookies, I'm going to place them in the freezer to chill for about 15 minutes. This will stop the cookies from spreading too much in the oven. Once the dough is firm, the cookies are ready to bake in a preheated 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius oven for 15 minutes. The cookies will still be quite light on top and a little soft. Allow them to cool on the baking sheet to set before moving them to a wire rack to cool completely. These classic holiday cookies are always a hit, but you don't need to save them just for the holidays. These little cookies are the perfect snack any time of year. And since these cookies are so quick and easy to make, you can even get the kids involved with this one.
And as always, you can find a link to the full written recipe in the description box below.
Enjoy! If you're a fan of deliciously simple vintage recipes and old-fashioned skills, then you'll want to check out this next video. Thanks for stopping by.